Hey, WheelSnipeSelly here. It is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. We are looking at the ES, the June contract. And you can see on the daily here on the left, this week has kind of been, just looks like consolidation, right? So it's very wicky, small body candles. And I honestly think these past, few days have been pretty tough. If we look at the 4 hour, what I was looking at, so this was the 2 o'clock candle, and then 6, we kind of made this, we took out sell side and we kind of made the low for the day. And then this 4 hour candle from 10 to 2 just ripped through this 4 hour fair value gap. So I was looking at longs, but I didn't really see anything or like participate in any of the trades. We'll kind of go in on like a lower time frame. So let's let me make this bigger. Let's go to the 1 hour first. So on the 1 hour, what I was looking at is we had, here's midnight. So we had this 1 hour fair value gap that we traded into overnight. So during the London session, we basically took out this. We basically rejected here at this rejection block here. So we kind of came back up, and I think we have that's a 5 minute. So yeah, so right around 8, I was kind of watching and I really didn't like the price action. Let's go down to a 15 minute. So on the 15 minute, you can see here, we have an order block, right? So here's a 15-minute order block. Basically filled that in to the tick there. And then you can see we have this 15-minute fair value gap. We came down and filled that in. All right, let's zoom in. So that's everything we want to look at from that. So initially coming through here, since we already had a large move, I wasn't really entertaining a trade right at, I was waiting kind of till 10 to see what it looked like, and at 10 it got worse. So just kind of sitting down. Let's go down to a 5 minute. So we had taken sell side, and let me pull this over. So here's YM. So initially when I was sitting down at the chart, the markets were out of sync, right? So here's our 9:30 opening. You can see here, YM, this was a pure consolidation. We end up trending on this on ES and NASDAQ, but you can see we did have a SMT right at 850, 845. So there was a SMT with NASDAQ and ES, but YM was out of sync. That's usually not a good sign. But so if we go back and look at the 845 right here, so ES made a lower low and NASDAQ did not make a lower low. Since we had made that big move, this is a large move right here from basically London till the 8:30 opening. This is a large move, so I wasn't interested in taking any trades. We did have a break in market structure, and we came down into this fair value gap here. So that definitely could have been a trade up to this buy side. But look at these wicks here at 9:30. We're going to go down to a 1 minute. When I saw this right here, and let me remove this breaker. When I saw this, I wanted nothing to do with the trades today. Right here, I'll make this a different color. So right at the 9:30 opening, I was watching all of this. I had no interest. It looked like there was a silver bullet trade here right at the 10:08. So this fair value gap, this could have taken you for 5 handles. but I didn't even want to risk it just because I couldn't trust that we were still going higher with the indices out of sync. So you have the opening range gap here. So I did, I was looking for this to go higher. I had a tweet out there that I was looking for this to go higher. Maybe I'll just pull that up real quick. Here we go. So right here at 10:05, watching this, you know, I don't like, it's not appealing to me. Keep an eye on the large range opening gap, see if it wants to push higher to close that in. So I noted the opening range gap, which it was pretty large. It was from basically 41.77 down to 41.58. So that's like 20 something handles. So I had, our opening range gap is this, just this gray area here. You can see I have my 4-hour fair value gap. So I was at least expecting to have this close in. Like I said, I didn't take any trades. I didn't really like this price action here. Very kind of back and forth, like it wasn't a quick move or anything like that. And I think this is like a 5-minute fair value gap. So just kind of showing some of the annotations that I kind of keep on my chart. Now, still over the lunch area, like I didn't see any lunch stops taken out. So this was the only kind of swing low that was taken out. There was one right here, right at 1, and then it quickly went back up. So what I was looking for, let's go back to the 5-minute. So I had this buy side. This was the high right around 3, like the close of yesterday. So I had this marked. I think I also had this marked right here as buy side. So once we kind of got up through this, I was looking for these upward targets. I didn't really find an entry, didn't want to take an entry. But right here, this candle at 2 o'clock, this is the important candle. So when we pushed up and we took out this buy side and we traded into this 5-minute fair value gap, and I think this is an hour fair value gap. Yeah, this is the hour fair value gap. We didn't even trade up to the consequent encroachment of this. So we didn't have a candle, a body candle print up in this area. So it just wicked. So when I saw that, I was waiting for a short to take out sell side, because this had been bullish almost all from 8, basically from 8 until 2, 3. So I was basically waiting for a short. So going back in this, so you can see this wick right here. So this is what I had my eye on, and you can see all of this price action right here. Nothing happened. It just consolidated, right? So going into this, I was stalking, and I'll show where I had started watching it from 3, I think maybe even 2:45, just looking for. If I go to the 2-minute, you can see I was stalking this from 2 basically. So from 2, I had this fair value gap drawn. I had another one here, but there wasn't enough displacement for me on this. But we weren't going higher. So we came back up and rejected off of this fair value gap here. So once I saw that, we couldn't even push in to get to consequent encroachment of this wick. So this buy side was, in my eyes, this was staying intact, and the draw on liquidity was lower. So that's why I was framing a short in between the end of the day macro. So 15:15 to 15:45. So let's go back to the one minute. Even this price action wasn't the best. So I had this is the hourly candle open for the last hour of trading, this red line here. So the power of 3 on this one, we went up, and then I was expecting this to go lower. So I wanted to get an entry close to this entry here, or this hourly candle open. So this is the 15-minute candle open. So we took buy side right here. We traded up and then we rejected lower. We created this fair value gap. I wasn't going to take this. This wasn't enough for me. But once we had this candle right here, 1533. Once this candle pushed down, this was my market structure shift. Okay, and then we had a volume imbalance here. And I framed we had a 5-minute fair value gap. Let me go back to the 5-minute real quick. Because once these candles start going down, they're going to open, go higher, and then close. So I was waiting for my trade. This candle closed, and we had this 5-minute fair value gap. My entry was right here on that entry of this 5-minute fair value gap. And we took 5 handles right here. Let's go to the 30-second, because I think this is what I actually traded off of. So we had our 5-minute, the market structure shift here. We went back down, we came back up and filled this 5-minute fair value gap perfectly. So my entry was right there at the entrance of that. We moved down, we created another fair value gap. This could have been another add. It just stuck with the one contract. And then we went down to the new week opening gap, consequent encroachment. So you can see how it's still respecting this consequent encroachment as of right now. So that's my logic for this trade here. You can see in the review, I was clearly looking for a short. We have our sell side taken here, sell side here, sell side here, and I just took my 5 and called it a day on this one. So yeah, let's go into the trade review. Okay, so here we are. This is just going to be a quick me kind of stalking this. So you can see the my lines here is at 1500, 1515, and look how choppy this is. So even on the 1 minute, there wasn't a whole lot. You can see I'm clearly looking for a short here. This is my initial idea. I hadn't taken anything. You can see I just did the 1 hour opening price. So here we have our stop or our sell limit placed. I'm on that fair value gap. That's also going to be the 5-minute fair value gap. So I got a market structure shift there and just kind of tweaking a few things. Looking, we have another volume imbalance. And so I wasn't going to chase this one. If I got filled, I got filled. If I didn't, I didn't. So I'm sitting at the top of that 5-minute fair value gap right here. So waiting for this to push up. So we're tagged in. And that 5-minute fair value gap, I just adjusted that. And we get our movement quick lower. I'm just kind of noting the sell sides there, moving my risk down, and we're tagged out with profit. And then just grabbing my screenshot. This does end up going lower, but I was happy with the 5 handles. I think it was like 245 profit for the day. And then you can see it just kind of chops around for a little bit. It retraces back and then goes a little bit lower. But that's the trade. And then we will go into the account review. All right, so here we are, Topstep Dashboard. We're at 769.10 out of the 3,000. And here's today, plus 245.42. And like I said, just this one trade, 3 minutes, 54 seconds. Let's see what else. Yeah, if you guys want to try out Topstep, I got a referral link below. So feel free to click it. You can try to do they have a 2-week trial. So if you want to try to set it up with TradingView, if that's what you use, kind of get a feel for it, see if it's something that you want to try to do. We're gonna flip over to the trade log. Here's the only entry for today. 1541 ES short PM session, 1 contract, 245.42 profit. Buy stops taken, fair value gap, volume imbalance, the macro, 30-second time frame. Overall, I think it was a B setup entry, just because it still wasn't as clean as it could be. 4-minute trade, half of a handle drawdown, and then we'll go to our calendar. So here we are, minus 106.62 on Monday, plus 878 on Tuesday, and then today, plus 245.42. And here's the screenshot I took right after the trade. So you can see here I have the sell sides. It just ripped right through that. It felt good that, you know, I had my draw on liquidity correct. My entry, you know, I was tagged in. It was a quick trade. I just did one trade for the day and I was done. So that was pretty awesome. So that's kind of motivating for me. We have economic calendar. So we have news events Thursday, tomorrow, and Friday. So 8:30 and 10. So keep your guys' eyes out for that. And then 9:45 on Friday. So I'm expecting this to, the big movement days are going to be here. We've had kind of consolidation like doji candles for the past 3 days. So looking for the movement to be on these days. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll check back in the next time we take a trade.